Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Greenwoods with the goal. Goalkeeper missed it. Fight him. He does the right hand and down goes Paul straight away. Oh, what a point to end it on! So now this is winner after best. And winner 12 years for this.
Welcome to yet another very exciting edition of Sports Extra Ordinary Weekend Edition here on Atlantic Television Network. On this weekend, where history is being made for this generation, especially in boxing, where Alexander Usyk is now the four-time champion in the heavyweight category. Beyond that, in football, it is a weekend where the Premiership has come to an end in England, and Manchester City in an epoch-making victory. Details of these and many more will be yours when we return from the break. Stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Welcome back. It's Sports Extraordinary Weekend Edition here, and this weekend that is epoch-making. It's a very special weekend indeed. I have with me Epo Tempo. Epo, nice to have you.
It's a beautiful weekend, I must say, and a lot to talk about from all that played out today in the English Premier League. Good to be here.
And of course, Mike is here. Mike, nice to have you.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening to our viewers out there. Of course, it's another epic moment in the English Premier League where we have a new crown champion in Manchester City. Great one.
The big word there is epic. It's really an epic weekend, and I'm sure a lot of people around the world want to wonder, why is it epic? It is epic because history is being made in boxing. Yes, we've never had a four-category situation in heavyweight boxing before. This is the first time in this century, in the 21st century, where we're having a boxer win all four belts, under one swoop. And that's the way we would like to start. But just before we get to this very epoch-making weekend on Sports Extraordinary, let's look at good news coming to Team Nigeria Epo. Fatima Bello, we understand, has secured a ticket to the women's table tennis event at the Paris Olympic Games coming up in just about a fortnight or so from now.
Yeah, it's lovely for her. I mean, this is the first time she's getting this particular one. We've seen three Nigerians, Kwadia Arona, Aruna Quadri already qualified, for the particular Motai also qualified, and we're hoping that, we're going to see a lady, pull through. And it's lovely to know Fatima Bello has been one of the finest stars when it comes to the African continent. In 2001, we saw her gloriously, she, got to the level. Unfortunately, the likes of Al-Hodabi of Egypt and Meshref have not really given her a chance, and somehow she's declined. But I'm happy with the fact that she was resilient. We saw what played out in the Saudi splash, where Team Nigeria also tried to showcase. We saw what Aruna Quadri did, and then we also came back gloriously. So I think that that motivation is just there. For her to have qualified, then we expect to see what they can do. It may not be easy, but having to test to be part of the Olympic is one thing that, it is a hunger, that drive, that inspiration for every tennis star, and getting to see Fatima Bello achieving that, climbing above the African scene to pick that ticket is lovely for me. And also, I'm sure that even the Tennis Federation will be very happy that she was able to get this particular one.
Tennis Federation of Nigeria definitely will be happy that they're having more, athletes to be part of the Team Nigeria going to the Olympic Games in Paris in just about 4 weeks or so from now. Mike, Team Nigeria seems to be getting it right with what looks like, for me now, a large number of contingent to be going to the Paris Olympic Games.
Definitely, I think it's an impressive one. I must also commend the new sport minister, talking about Senator John Owan. Since he came on board, I think he's been working around the clock to ensure that sport generally is, properly repositioned for the good, and not just focusing on football, which has been the major issue over the years, where we pay deaf ears to other sport development, only focus on football. But since he came on board, I think there's a change in narrative. Talk about wrestling, athletic. We are getting it right. Taekwondo, cricket, we are getting it right under the leadership of John Owan. You cannot, underestimate what he has brought to the table, and this is why most of our athletes is getting it right. They're picking some of the, Olympic ticket out there to represent us in the forthcoming Paris Olympic game. I think it's a great one. We must commend them and also commend the sport minister. Team
Nigeria going to the Olympic Games, getting set, and the roster should be done any moment soon. But congratulations to Fatima Bello for doing our country proud. Meanwhile, let's get to our brass tacks, and it has to do with the epoch-making weekend across the world, especially in boxing, heavyweight boxing. And the last time we saw one man with 3 belts in heavyweight boxing was Leon Lewis, way back to about 24 years ago. And now, this is the first time this century we have one boxer own 4 belts: World Boxing Council belt, the World Boxing Association belt, the World Boxing Organization belt, and the International Boxing Federation belt, all in the heavyweight division. Now belongs to Alexander Usyk, courtesy of split decision win over Tyson Fury at the Kingdom Arena a few hours ago in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Epo, this is very epoch-making. First, let's look at the ambience and the Kingdom Arena itself. Over 26,000 fans were inside there, most of them celebrities. If you remember, we saw Cristiano Ronaldo and several other celebrities and royalty at that Kingdom Arena in the early hours of this morning, watching that bout. What a color, 26,000 and millions of people around the world.
Yeah, 26,000 at the arena in Riyadh, precisely. And then we'll get to see, the TV right deal was also, a lot of people don't get to talk about that, but the promoters really made a lot of money from the TV right deal, because huge chunk of amount. Don't forget that getting this particular one, we've seen a lot of money go to the winner, as well as Tyson Fury, who of course had a bigger share of this particular agreement. And I tell you, this is about a lot of people have been expecting. Boxing fans want to see this one materialize. It's even easy to say that the hype around this one was not there, because not many even knew that, okay, the part will come up this weekend. But finally we got to see that, but we saw what that played out. We saw the threes and what transpired. That truly made for a big fight, and we saw all that played out yesterday. It was a bout that went down to the wire. It could have gone either side, but I think that the judges were right. A split decision for me, and I think that in the best of the knowledge of the judges, Usyk deserved to be champion. At the time when Ukraine currently suffering from the harsh attack from Russia, getting this particular one will really alleviate, alleviate the challenges and sufferings of the Ukrainians. So I think it's a congratulations for Alexander Usyk.
Split decision in favor of the man from Ukraine, Alexander Usyk, against the British boxer Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, the man whose name is named after Mike Tyson, if you remember, did everything he could, but over 12 rounds, he was knocked down once, and the judges saw 115 to 113, 114 to 113, and of course 115 to 112 in favor of the man from Ukraine. The judges were right, 3 of them, one from Canada, one from, I think, America, and of course, the UK.
Absolutely. I think the judges were right in their decision out there. Majorly, I think for me, Usyk truly deserves, to be crowned a champion. Looking at his impressive display yesterday, so this time where we see Tyson Fury, being cornered, around the ring, unlike Tyson Fury, who always want to stay at the center of the ring to throw some of those jabs out there and capitalize on some of those, hook punches and uppercut. But it didn't work out for him yesterday. We want to say that Tyson Fury is not that Tyson Fury we know in the past. And the clear example is what happened between his fight and that of Francis Ngannou, when Ngannou actually knocks him out. I mean, he's no longer that Tyson Fury that we used to know again. You saw the showboating, the antics that he tried to deploy in order to intimidate Usyk, but Usyk kept his head cool and also was able to read his game right from first round, second round, third round, fourth to sixth round. He was able to properly read his game and capitalize on the 8th and 9th round where he actually, kissed his canvas. If not for the intervention of the referee, I think it should have been a knockout for me, because at that point his hands were weak, his legs were feeble, he couldn't stand again. But then again, experience had to come in for Tyson Fury, where he had to use the ring to support himself. If not, that should have been outright knockout. So for me, I think the judges...
Tyson Fury, in the 9th round, we saw that left, hook from the man from Ukraine, Alexander Usyk. He dazed, and of course, real Tyson Fury. No, we've never seen it. Yes, we've seen him on the canvas before, but this was his, 8th time, and he was not lucky at all, where he was knocked down, but he came around to win the fight. This time, he could not survive that 9th round knockdown that he was saved by the bell, so to say.
Yeah, I agree. He was saved by the bell, and not necessarily from the ref, because we saw what played out in that particular one. Prior to that one, he had come back, in round 4. We thought that he's going to continue because Usyk, Fury started poorly. We saw what Usyk did in the first 4 rounds of that encounter. But somehow he came into that particular one, the 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, 8th round, he started, flopping until we saw that particular hip-hop in that 9th round that nearly got into the canvas. And if he had, but I think that Usyk was fantastic. What we saw is, Tyson Fury, the way Usyk fought is such that is difficult. And with the height that Tyson do had, you expect that he will put on a very good show. But Usyk understood. I'm sure he has done a lot of study. The man don't talk too much. He's just a man who understands what he wants to do. And he was very engaging. Other fighters, if you look at what happened to Klitschko, all the fighters that he has boxed.
Yeah, let me just take you on that. Talking about Usyk knowing what to do. Everybody knows that well. We saw him, through, Tyson Fury threw nearly 500 punches. And while Usyk to just about 407 punches, but of those 407 punches, 170 actually landed on the body of Tyson Fury, as compared to just 156 from nearly 500 that landed on the body of Usyk. So it's not really about the punch you jab that you throw, but is it actually landing?
Yeah, I think you're right. The target, and that's the advantage that Usyk had. Usyk was more calculative than Tyson. Tyson just felt that he's going to use everything. Don't forget that his weight, his height were advantage for Tyson Fury. But we saw the same thing with Ngannou. Ngannou was engaging, and the moment you take Usyk for a very long, round, it becomes challenging, and that was why in the night time he was already gasping for air. He was tired, and somehow he just felt that this is you know, one man would have, if not for the bet, like you said, he would have been down to the canvas. But somehow, we know that he has that energy to always rise. But in this case, it was engaging because the man has already started engaging him from round 1. Usually, you don't get to win the first 4 rounds against Tyson.
Look at it, Mike. Let's look at it this way. We saw what looks like what's his name now, Tyson Fury winning in the very first 5 rounds, so to say, you know, and he had a chance of finishing it off with Usyk, but he rather was showboating, and by the time he knew it, Usyk turned around and took it to him and dazed him completely. Why will he not finish the job, even if it was in the first round? We've seen celebrated boxers, you know, finish in the first minute or even in the second minute of the first round. He had a chance of finishing Usyk, but he rather showboated. At the stage, he was even putting his hands behind him.
Yeah.
You know, so,
I think
do you think he will be regretting that?
Definitely. You listen to his, you know, interview after the game. He said that he was hoping that, his ringside is going to tell him to finish up, but they didn't do that. You know, I think for me, he said that he was like enjoying himself in the first round down to 6th round. And he was enjoying himself, and he thought he was in control of the whole thing. And he expected maybe his ringside to tell him to finish up, but he was just enjoying himself. He later regretted the whole thing. I think for me, that showboating, that antics, it didn't actually pay off for him. And you also listen to Lennox Lewis shortly after that game. He said that he need to blame himself for the showboating because he thought maybe he has won the game before you start doing some of those antics. So for me, he need to blame himself. Then again, Temple talked about punches and all of that on the side of you know, Tyson Fury. I think he was wrong out there. You know, Usyk was very, very calculative. He has the stamina. He knows when to hit and when to defend, and he did that in a very, very magnificent way. Now, when he gets an opportunity, there's what we call, you know, punches in bunches in boxing. That is what he did. Within a split second, he landed as much as 4 or 5 punches, whereas Tyson Fury would just, you know, capitalize on his long hand advantage to tap in some of those jabs. But each time Usyk get a split second to get close, you know, to Tyson Fury, he lands some of those punches in bunches. Within a space of a second, he can land as much as 5 or 6 punches, and that is what helped him a lot. Then again, he also deployed what we call the overhand. Some people call it overhead in boxing. No, it is an overhand where if you cannot get close to, you know, someone that is tall before you, what you do is to capitalize on their overhand, deceive him, fake him as if you want to punch his body, then go to his head, and that is what you know, Usyk did yesterday, and it worked perfectly for him. So for me, I think Tyson Fury need to blame himself for some of those showboating. He should have finished off the fight in less than 7 rounds, but he did not do that. He was ordered. I mean, he resorted to showboating instead of finishing the job. So he actually blamed himself afterward, and I think for me, Sugar Sweet, who is one of his first trainer, should also take the blame, because I think yesterday Sugar Sweet was no longer sweet. It was bitter for him yesterday.
Very bitter indeed, no doubt. We saw it, and at the stage, we know that Usyk has won, no doubt, but he had to be checked into hospital from the jabs, many jabs he received, and he's now been examined for some kind of MRI scan.
No, he quickly came out yesterday. You know, during the press conference where Tyson Fury was granted, he actually made reference to the fact that he should have won that game, and that is the reason why Usyk is in the hospital right now. But immediately he made that statement. Boom, what happened? You saw Usyk bust out. He said, no, I'm not in the hospital. I can't go to hospital. So that one is just a mere speculation. It wasn't true.
That's very interesting. The two of them, you know, really showing off. 25 right now. We're having a situation where the man from Ukraine is having it an upper hand. Something interesting here, Ekpo, and for me, that is intriguing. We've seen cruiserweight champion in Usyk, you know, change to heavyweight division. He's fought only 5 times in the heavyweight division. Now he's conquered somebody who has fought, you know, more than 25 times in the heavyweight division in Tyson Fury. What would you think would have been responsible for this switch, and not just switch now, dominance coming to take, the most prized position in the heavyweight division?
I think it's his tactics and the the way he has gone. He's one man who many never give a chance. Many never believed in what he can do, but gradually we've seen what he's been able to put up, and somehow, he trains more. He has an aspiration. If you look at his history, the way he started boxing from the cruiserweight, like he said, many never believed, because he's always not meeting up to requirement, and somehow the odds have always been against him. But he defied those odds and became a champion in the cruiserweight. Same thing he did when he migrated, to the heavyweight, when his weight and all that were not up to the level that was desired. But somehow he has proved a lot of doubters, and I think that what we're seeing from Usyk is he has won the first one. We saw how he got a 3-belt from Joshua. A lot of person felt that, it was just a game of chance, and he was able to get that particular one in a rematch. And certainly, clearly, I think that this is a man who understands, who has honed his craft, and who understands what it means to, become a champion. He has that taste. And the biggest inspiration is what transpired, politically, that is going there. And somehow, he just wants to give it all. That motivation alone, could have prepared him. So I think that all these factors put together, his background, where he's coming from, what is happening in his country, and the fact that they want to put everything together, we just want to get that particular one. And then he has also worked very hard. So all this could have prompted him to become the undisputed champion.
The man who came from the war front, remember, he actually enlisted for war for his country, Ukraine, Usyk, and he had to take a permission from the war front to prepare for this fight. And now he said he's done it for his family, for himself, and for his country, Ukraine. Ukrainians around the world will feel very proud this hour that they are back to the fore of heavyweight boxing.
Definitely, they will. You saw the cheers yesterday immediately after that fight. And immediately he was called to the mic. He has to use his language to also garner more support. You saw the cheers, from his countrymen yesterday. I think it was an impressive display. And then again, I think dedication and passion, commitment have also, helped him to get to where he is. Selflessness. After the game he was being interviewed, he said that for this year, because of this fight, he was unable to take an Easter break. He said that he couldn't visit the daughter. He couldn't even attend his son's birthday. The daughter's birthday, he couldn't attend. He had to go down, to a secluded place. According to his narrative, he went to even the pool, inside the pool, to train inside the pool. He takes such, dedication and selflessness before you can get to, where you are right now. And some of those sacrifices have paid off for him, as he's now the undisputed heavyweight.
Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. It will be now, from now till at least October 12th, there is a rematch clause for this encounter between these two heavyweight boxers. Both of them went into this fight undefeated. Now Tyson Fury has been defeated in 35 fights now. He's lost one and drawn one. Let's hope that by the time he returns on October 12th, he might have a chance of maybe doing otherwise. This is the blemish on the record of Tyson Fury, the man from England. He's had it all, 35 fights and won 34, drew one. Now he's gone into 36, won 34, drawn one, and lost one. What does it mean for him ahead of October 12 rematch for this category? It implies that he has tasted defeat now, and he needs to do more. But the same thing we said about Anthony Joshua when he had the 3 belts. And don't forget that why he's very important is because he's the WBC champion. And I think that he needs to do a lot of things now. He needs to now think, what can I do to ensure that I get this back? And the more pressured he will be, because he wants to get it against Usyk. Usyk is not the kind of person that is easy. So I think that his team will have to go back now and look into this particular one and see what they can do to see if they can get it back during the rematch in October. Talking about the belts, Alexander Usyk actually took the 3 belts, the WBA and of course the IBF and WBO belts from Nigeria's Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua was one man that was at the ringside yesterday, Mike. How will he be feeling that, yes, the man who took the 3 belts from me now has 4 belts. That it could have been him. You would think Anthony Joshua was thinking that, oh well, at this point it could have been him, but now as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world with all 4 belts, unified belts.
I think for me, yesterday, watching him sitting down there, watching closely, it should have been, maybe in his mind, I was thinking, maybe he was like, is this a dreamland? Because I think for me, it should be Anthony Joshua that should be contesting for that, unification bout. But then again, I think he still have much time. He just need to work on himself, because I wouldn't advise him to go, to pick up a challenge against Usyk for right now. Having been defeated twice by the same Usyk, I think he just needs to take his time and try to figure out, the best possible way. Let's see if this rematch is going to hold between Usyk and Tyson Fury before possibly 2025. Then Anthony Joshua can start thinking if he is coming out to challenge. To throw his heart on the ring again. But for now, I think he should just keep building his confidence level. I think over the past 1 year right now, he has been doing that. I think right now, he has that status back. So I believe by 2025, he will be thinking of, throwing his heart into the ring again.
Nearly 25 years ago, it was Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. Lennox Lewis won all 3 belts. In 2024, it is Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Usyk now taking 4 belts on the night. April, we have to wrap up on this boxing because we have one more story to talk about this spectacular history-making weekend, which is the Premier League in England. But before we wrap up on boxing, 4 belts all in the possession of Alexander Usyk. But more money is in the bank account of Tyson Fury. $80 million in the bank account of Tyson Fury, while the winner with the 4 belts has only $35 million in his account.
Yeah, but I think in the coming days, from now to October, we're going to see a lot of sign of. Yes, it's always like that. If anybody had said it's difficult to call, even when we saw what played out, on the ring. So I think that yes, he's the holder of the WBC bet, and he has bigger share. He has 2 promoters, Bob Arum, and that expectation is just that he will always have a bigger chunk. And fortunately for him, he gets that particular one. But then that does not imply that we're not going to see Usyk. It's just a matter of months. We're going to see a lot of endorsement deals. We're going to see a lot that will come on his way. Being an undisputed champion comes with a lot of goodies. So I think that he'll get more than that money from now till October. But because the benefit of holding 4 bets is part of the deals that comes his way. So Usyk should relax, because a lot will come his way after now.
Usyk may not have the chunk of the money, but he has all 4 belts. He's the very first person in history to hold 4 belts as heavyweight champion. So we say congratulations to Usyk. Talking about money will definitely come with more fights on the card. After all, there will be a rematch on the 12th of October. That's it for this half of the program. We will take a short break. When we return from the break, we'll look at the Premiership in England. Manchester City has made history. Again, no team has won the Premiership 4 times consecutively. That's what they have just done a few minutes ago. When we return from a break, we'll look at how Manchester City made history.
Still goes to Arsenal. What it looks to be immortality as an athlete. 19.79. It's a goal. It's 8 goals.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody.
Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask o?
Because this road wey you dey see so, e no guarantee safe delivery o.
We just dey vote for government, but we no get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey, light o usa, the infrastructure nko e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption spoil everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No, now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't call.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
That behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Atn Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap am.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me I tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time? Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Atn Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Get ready! As Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Arts. La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Room Calabo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Hackett. On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m. Inter-school march past competition,
Dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers, and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown, Bouncing Castle as we cut the Children's Day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689
and 0810 634 1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the Last Mall Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Hackett, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokumo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Welcome back. It's history-making weekend, Sports Extraordinary here on Atlantic Television. And Epo is here, Mike is here as well. Quickly guess, we've seen a situation where the league, where we've seen that the Premiership, the La Liga, and of course, virtually the other 4 leagues in Europe had come to an end, with leaders decided already before even the matches were concluded. The Premiership in England had to wait for the last day. Arsenal had to seek for luck elsewhere, but they couldn't. They were able to beat Everton by 2-1, but not enough to topple Manchester City, who beat West Ham.
I mean, if you've been following keenly what is happening in the Premier League, this is almost the same squad that got the trophy for Pep the last time. Also, except for 1 or 2. And the good thing about this squad is that he had a lot of newcomers who also he blended when the injury concern, he got the better of the team. And at some point, at the tail end of the season, you always know that City are always going to be in the battle. Even when they were far away from the top 4, at some point they were nowhere close to the top 4. But we saw what transpired. I think that it's just happened by chance. It could have gone either side. I wouldn't want to blame Arsenal for losing the title, even if they had a grip on that particular one. It's football. I think Arsenal did all they could, even if they did not get up to the
these 115 charges against Manchester City will begin to make a lot of headlines in the weeks ahead.